Good morning. I am at Haeinsa, which is the second temple that I've been to that's a jewel of the Jogyo order. This is actually the head temple of the Jogyo order. It's in the middle of Gayasan National Park, which should explain why it just keeps getting better. Like every time I think I find like one of the most prettiest temples, I find another one that just like steps it up. And this one is famous for Dharma, for Buddhism, which is the, what's a good way to explain? Scripture. And one of the key things about this place is that unlike the Tongduso, which was, I believe it was Tongduso, which was the temple for Buddha, which was why they didn't have any of the Buddha statues on the outside. This one is for the scriptures, and one of the most important things that they house here is 81,350, I have it written down here, wooden print blocks for the Buddhist scriptures, and they're actually stored all throughout the temple. Now, getting here is quite the trek. So far, these jewel temples you have to pay to get in, technically. This one was 7,001, and that was 2,000 for the entrance fee and 5,000 for my car. And that's just to get into the Gayasan National Park. So once you actually get in here, though, everything else is technically free. So it's about to go into prayer time, and they're actually starting up there. I don't know if you can hear it in the background or not. They actually just finished some monks just walked by. It was actually those three monks that just performed a kind of a bell and drum ceremony. I have quite a bit of footage of it, and I'll probably just throw it at the end of this video here so that you can see it in its entirety. But they go on for days. There was three of them, and they actually would swap out as they were drumming. It was really, really long, and now everybody's finished watching it. They're all coming up to this main abbot where they're praying right now. But back to the story, getting in here, getting into Gayasan, it's just such a lovely experience, particularly in the fall when all the leaves are just like in full change of autumn colors. The road getting here is kind of dangerous, admittedly. It's probably more tricky than some of the city roads that I've been driving on, which is kind of funny. And beyond that, it was like getting to the parking lot that was open for the temple. It's called the Little Parking Lot. I don't know if I actually have any footage of that, but the Little Parking Lot is actually 800 meters away from this temple. The drive up to the Little Parking Lot is not only is it littered with like the beautiful like greenery and foliage, not greenery, but the autumn colors, but it also has all these other hermitage sites, so that if you're doing a journey from like say Busan to Seoul, there are spiritual stops that you're supposed to stop at, and some of them are here inside of Gayasan National Forest or National Park. The cool thing is then you get to the little parking lot and you park there and you walk up the 800 meters, and alongside the road, it's all paved, nice roads. You could pretty much drive on them if you wanted to. But on the roads up here, as you walk up, you're not allowed to drive, by the way. They're just nicely paved. I think that's for like maintenance cars. As you walk up here, that road is also kind of has sporadic kind of like Buddhist items. Things that I remember are like there was a dedication area with all these columns to monks that were of significant like roles here at Haeinsa Temple. And as you walk into the temple, there's actually a tree to the right, which was funny because everyone was just passing it without like any paying any mind to it. But like as you go to this tree, if you actually read it, the tree was dedicated as part of the temple when it was built. I forget the date, but when the temple was built, it was built in order, in respect actually, out of two monks that would pray all day and all night for the safety of, I believe her name was Queen Aijung. The notes in English were pretty, not really well maintained, let's put it that way. So it was really hard to read. Her name was really like blurred out. or it didn't stand out. And because of that, I couldn't really read her name, but she had this supposedly incurable illness. And what the two monks did was they actually just prayed by her side for, I think it was 3 days and 3 nights. And she actually became cured. And because of that, the emperor at the time dedicated this temple to those two monks and planted that tree in order, and kind of like the respect of showing that they maintained her life. And it only died in, I believe it was written 1945 or it was 1938, one of the 2 years, I'm sorry. It was within the 30s, 40s. So the tree lived for a really long time, thinking that this was built in the BC time period. So just a quick cut in. I'm standing by the withered elm tree right now that I was talking about earlier, and it died in 1945, and the queen's name was Queen Ering. That was the importance of it. Alright, back to the vid. Yeah, and that's just me walking in so far. I've only gotten to the entrance, that main part right there, where they're playing or doing the ceremony, and now I'm in the main square with the main abbot. So I'll check back in a moment, but I'm gonna go ahead and walk up some more. But this definitely, like, it's understandable how this became a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's pretty amazing. So check back in a moment. Welcome back. I have finished walking around the temple. I actually just finished walking where the 81,350 wooden scriptures are. Unfortunately, you can't really see them all too well. I did get some video footage of it, but it's actually not as clear as you probably would think it would be. The big thing is that it is behind locked doors with slants in it, so it's kind of like its own prison. And because of that, it's really hard to see the scriptures. But I did try my best in getting the footage of it. I also tried doing maybe some close-up photos. I don't know how well they'll turn out, and if none of those worked out really well, they do have a photo of what it's supposed to look like on the inside of the prison. So I took a photo of the photo, if that's what I'm gonna have to use in order to show what it looks like. But it's pretty awesome. Like, it's pretty great to see. And as the time goes by, I think it's probably about noon now. I'm getting peckish. It's 11:30. So I've been here for about an hour and a half. I think I might grab a coffee and a snack and then head back into town, go to back to my Airbnb, because apparently it's just a 10-minute walk to the gopchang barbecue area, which I think that's what I want to have for lunch. So I think that'll do it for Gayasan. I might make one more quick pit stop, and if I do, I'll start the video back up and just add it all into the Gayasan National Park type video, even though it's mainly about Haeinsa Temple. Yeah, other than that, I will go ahead and end it here, and I'll see you in the next vid.